You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I think you can hear me now. You might even have heard me say cool, because my mic was still hot, because I was hot, because we weren't working. But we're back. We're going to talk basketball, NBA. We're going to talk a little bit of the Olympic upcoming debacle. We're going to talk all kinds of fun stuff, but two legacies decided in one night. We can do 2 hours on just the NBA. But we ain't. We got it all for you. Name, likeness, college, whatever you want to get into, we got it. Social media is available to you. Text line is available to you. So, without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here again on this glorious Wednesday here. Yes, it is not like the apocalypse there. There's no forest fires. There's no flooding, at least right now.
At the moment,
we have San Diego weather with Detroit prices. We got lots to talk about. Also, we got next to Oklahoma. We're down to the SEC about possibly the Big 12 the SEC. I don't know why. Again, I don't think that benefits them anything because that means to put them in the same bracket as Alabama.
well, they're all jockeying for position for
In
like
the super conference.
super conferences because we're gonna have a super expansion.
Yes.
all the things that we've kind of talked about over the years. If you listen to this
for the
goofy
last 10
show,
years.
yeah, we've kind of told you it's finally kind of coming through. So it took us. It was a slow burn, but we finally got there.
Yes.
And
you're better off going to the Big Ten to going to the West than that because again, that way somebody from the West besides like I don't know, Iowa, Northwestern, and Wisconsin can win it because Nebraska hasn't done shit.
yeah, right. No, I just think that like it's all about level of competition, right? So you got to find that happy balance. So if you're a conference, you want to have cats that can come in that when you win, it matters. But then you don't want to have scrubs in there that just get run over. So I think there's kind of a trick. Then there's logistics as far as like location and all that. So there's a lot of crazy things that could happen. And don't be surprised if you see teams vying or vice versa of the Big Ten vying for teams either way to
Yes.
just kind of round out these conferences. And however that. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that in the slightest. So that is the kind of Pandora's box, but like not really. It's all good.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
now the name and likeness thing is not as big a deal, I think, that anybody thinks. I just think it's like now it's all about cats that are going to get money. So I don't know. Whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do. We're going to get our eight game playoff at some point, or whatever, 18 playoff, I mean, at some point. And they'll market the shit out of it. Everybody's got the name and likeness thing now. And so it's no holds barred. So is sports going to kind of change in that respect? The college? Sure, a little bit. But I just think that now it's just out in the open.
Yes.
Right? You know what I mean? A guy doesn't have to hide that he's got this, that, or the other because he can make his own money.
I mean, Saban already said quarterback Bryce Young has made over $1 million already.
All right. And it's like, good. He can take care of his family and he can get himself ready. Guess what? Guess what else he can do while he's there? He can learn how to deal with his finances when he gets to the pros.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He'll be taking, maybe he'll be taking a couple business classes.
Right.
Stuff like that. Learn how to finance and hook up and everything with it. And of course, again, it's his money. And it's like, hey, I don't need to be jumping in right away on there, whatever on it. Again, granted, he'll be a first rounder anyways, unless he totally bombs out there at Alabama. But
Right.
we'll see. With it, so let's get into it. On here, we're getting the NBA playoffs. I mean, the finals. Phoenix goes out to 2-0 lead, and then
Well, we had Phoenix in 6. I think both of us were in that mindset. I know I was.
I didn't expect Giannis to come play like what happened after.
Well, and when you go up 2 games, nothing, and you're like, okay. I mean, it looks like this is about what we would expect. 6 games, this is what it would look like if they were going to do it. So, but yeah, I mean, no one expected Giannis to just like.
Purdue was supposed to be out
after that injury. Yeah, after that injury, man. What I thought was an injury, the faux injury, that way he came down on that knee, I thought for sure he was gone for the rest of the year. And look at the hardware he walked away with this year.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just insane. The way he played was amazing. There's just a great story with the whole thing, so I love it. I didn't really care who wins or loses, but talk about the legacy differences between 2 guys in the same game. When they were up 2-0, when Phoenix was up 2-0, and we had our prediction in before they started, obviously, the series, that we thought it'd be Phoenix in 6. We were sitting pretty there, and then, that's why they play the games, right? But I just... And we talked about Chris Paul and his legacy, and if he wants to change that, where he's kind of chasing and trying to catch a title, and he's, let's be honest, he's shit the bed when it comes to elimination situations in playoffs. Deep in playoffs, he just can't get there. He can't get it done. He's got that reputation. We talked about that, and I think he's very conscious of it. And, I think I don't think he hides it, that he wants to change that and, have a reputation of getting it done and winning and having that championship on his resume. But, and we talked about that. This is his chance. He was playing well. He was gone with the stupid COVID, but he came back and continued to play well.
Yeah.
And this is his chance to carry a young team, be the veteran leader on a young team, and prove that he could get it done. And he was reveling in that fact. And he could, and we talked about that he could erase all of that with one series. If he could have a good series and they could win this championship, he could erase all those doubts and talks and whispers and whatever that kind of rolled around NBA fandom when it came to Chris Paul and finishing the job, so to speak. And whoa, how things turned. Because then you went from the other side of the coin, you got a young cat, and y'all heard him in the post-game press conference. This is how you get it done. He called out all them sack chasing hoes.
Right.
He called out everybody that chased the title ever. He said, nah, I could have done that. That's the bitch ass way out.
Right.
I mean, he said he was classy about it, but he told y'all you were a bunch of pussies.
That's right. It's tougher to do it from building something from nothing.
Right.
And it's, again, you appreciate that.
Yeah, dude.
Damn right, man. You can't now. Again, I like him even more. I always thought he was, but dude, I mean, with his accent and everything on there, you go, dude.
The way he balled out those last 4 games, the way he carried that team throughout, and did all this, the way he, allowed them to kind of build that team and do that thing and gave him, and like you said, he didn't go anywhere. He stayed. He wanted to be there. He wanted to be a part of it. He wanted all that. It's awesome. Like, how can you not, if you don't like that, you're probably a soulless ginger.
Yes.
I mean,
because we all know gingers have no soul.
Yes. I just don't know what to say. It's like why you watch sports. Right? That's like why we get invested in players, in teams, in sports. That's the thing. So I like it. Now, you don't have to be a Giannis fan. I'm not necessarily like, ooh, I'm going to go out and buy me a jersey and I'm going to be like, Bucks Nation and all that stuff. But I can't deny what he had 5 blocks
5
in
blocks,
that game.
14 boards,
50 points.
He was 17 from 19 from the line.
He was a man amongst little children.
Yes, his defense was ungodly.
I mean, the way he was muscling around and playing all series long.
Yes.
And he just, and you know what? He's like,
He got better and better and better after every game. Like, holy crap.
and he was actually, I think he shot like 69% from the free throw. It's like he never does that. He shoots like shit from the line, and he shot like 69% or something.
And last night he was ungodly. He was like freaking 90+% from
Right.
free throws.
Right.
Winning clutch on there.
So, and it's like, and that's what it was. If you look at the games that Milwaukee won, they were within striking distance with minutes to go. It wasn't blowouts. They weren't like ahead holding a lead. They were closing out games.
Right.
They were like, you know what? This, that, and the other. We're going to stay with them. And then when it matters, we hit them. And guess who didn't? Chris Paul didn't. 1 for 7 in the fourth quarter. Get the out of here, dude. Elimination game that you were up double digits and you go 1-7 in the fourth quarter and you want to change the narrative on you and who you are and winning championships? That ain't getting it done, homie. Guess who just called you out? Now you want to be a sack chaser and go to LA? Go to the Lakers with your boys on the banana boat and try to get you a championship?
Yeah.
Guess who just cock-blocked your ass in a post-game press conference? He didn't just – that was block number 6 in that game. Right there. Right there. Because now he called out all you.
Now, again, I
absolutely love it. Totally in love with it.
So Magic goes there. He wants Paul to go to the Lakers and add on there. Now, technically, Magic doesn't work for the Lakers, but he works for the Lakers. Isn't that like tampering? I mean, we're not the free agents in on there. Oh, we're gonna get him on there.
Well, this is the thing.
They can't pay him what he can if he stays there. What he's gonna make in Phoenix.
Right. No. Once again, it is uber obvious that if he makes any maneuver other than to stay in Phoenix and win a championship, he's sack chasing.
Yes.
And he got called out.
They
all got called out. LeBron, Lamar, all of them, Durant, everybody that sack chased, all of them that left a team that was good and building, and instead of sticking with it, went somewhere else for a championship. They all got called out. There's a whole generation of them.
Yes.
And he called them all out.
Yes. I love it.
I did. I was so.
But they say it's like the odds favorite are the Nets and the Lakers on there. I don't see the Lakers getting back there ever again for a while.
I don't see the Lakers unless they like score another young talent that can stay healthy. That would actually almost have to be the 1, not the 3rd.
Yeah.
Not the 3 as far as your big 3 or whatever, because I just don't see a single scenario where both of those guys are healthy in a playoff situation. Right. By the time you get to the second round of the playoffs, you've played 100 fucking games, excuse my language, damn near. And even if you trim them down to 60 or 70 games in a season instead of 84 or 82 or whatever, then it's just the war of attrition. Everybody's like, well, all these teams are hurt. They had it easy, but well, you got to stay healthy. That's part of the game, you dumbass.
Well, you know what? You got no bench. That's what they had to play all those freaking minutes.
Well, and that's the other thing. The bench showed up for Milwaukee. I mean, they're putting up, the bench is they're only going 2 guys deep to the bench, and they're still getting 30 points off the bench.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not, so, like, this is my whole thing with that, dude. When you play, you have to be able to play. Oh, it was a short. They all played under the same rules. What are you talking about? It's insanity. And they stayed healthy. They were a better team because they were able to. Your best ability is availability. Come on now.
Younger bodies can recover faster.
This is a young man's game. I get it. And you can't
basketball.
say if this guy was healthy, if this guy was that. Well, yeah, if that guy didn't have Tommy Johnson. You know what? If Joel Zamaya didn't throw the tip of his elbow off his fucking arm, he would have been a great pitcher. But guess what? If my grandma had nuts, she'd be my grandpa.
Right.
So what the fuck are we talking about here?
Yes. So I am on here with it, and again, we'll have to see what happens here in free agency and everything with it. But yeah, I really didn't care who won on there. I like both teams on there with it on there.
Yep.
But damn it, I'm really happy Milwaukee now won after whatever,
Sure.
especially the post game.
I mean, that sold me on that. Yeah, that made me feel all good inside after that.
That was basically
like,
me all feel warm and
Yep.
cuddly on there after dealing with all the BS that's going on in the world.
yes.
Damn it, right?
I like it.
I like it.
I did. I liked it a lot.
Again, remember, thanks Dan Van Gundy for trading Chris Middleton for a bag of donuts.
Yeah, right. Because then he goes over there and puts like 40 a night up, and the playoffs was clutch.
And we take KCP
great number
instead
two.
of Giannis. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, we weren't the only one. Giannis went, what, 14? 15? Yeah. So we weren't the only ones. But really, KCP over a lot of different guys, really, in that draft. Like, what the hell?
Well, we'll on it, but yeah, we get.
So, congratulations to the Bucks and the Bucks fans. You and your big Rona party outside. I mean, it was cool. I hope you guys are all vaxxed. Yeah, we're all vaxxed. Yeah, lying fuckers. It was.
I think there are more people vaxxed in Wisconsin than they were
I hope
in
so.
Florida.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm glad that they finally got one after 50 years.
50 years exactly.
Yeah, he put up 50 points and.
I put that up there with
the last game. That's
Jordan's 45 and Magic's 42. And
yep, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
When Magic played the closeout in 1980 in Game 6, when he went from point guard to center because Kareem had migraines.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you watch that game, you watch the way he took over.
Of course, nobody watched the Magic game because it was on tape delay.
All right. Such a disaster.
With it. So we got everything in there. I think we got the draft coming up in about a week or so, or 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, draft will be coming up pretty quick.
Yep. And then it's official. The Pistons did host Cade Cunningham today in the facility. So
yeah, I mean,
gee, that's the worst kept secret.
Yeah, I just everybody. Do you see all these idiots? Hi, Canada Mike. I'm glad you're with us again. Nice to see you. Hope everything's good. Blue Jays are coming home. He's happy.
We can visit him.
Well, hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to go visit now. In a month?
In about a month.
Oh, cool, because and we're all vaccinated, so we'll come over with our cards, and they won't give us hassle, hopefully. But they exceeded us in vaccinations over there, even though they didn't get it rolling until like way after we did.
Right, because they didn't get the
because they ran out and got the shot, and all of us go America and don't take it. So.
Natural selection.
Yeah, I whatever. To each their own. I'm gonna if it causes us to have another shot next year, then I'll just take the shot. Whatever, I'll just get the shot next year. But it is aggravating that people would be that kind of, I don't know, whatever about it. But I'm not gonna get into that. It's turned political instead of about just being healthy and safe.
It's great on here. But Cade Cunningham coming here and visiting at the Tiger game the other night there, and they're all yelling at the fans there to stay in the stands. We want Cade.
There is no other option. I've seen all these stupid trades out there, guys. And you guys, I love all you guys in the Pistons group. Dude, you guys are so passionate. And even when this team's horrible, you're in there talking about all these crazy things that we could do and what could happen. And you're always so optimistic. Pistons fans, you are single greatest fans in the NBA because your team is a goddamn dumpster fire and has been for a long time. And you guys are all on it and all about it. And But stop with the trade options. Stop with the other this, that, or the other thing. Just stop. It's Cade, unless like a meteor comes from the sky and lands on his head and he can't pass physical. It's Cade. It's Cade. It's Cade. I just don't see, and I get it. He's not like a transcending kind of guy that you think is going to be but I don't know who that is in this draft, right? Like I don't feel that there is, so if there is somebody, because there kind of usually is, we're hoping it's this guy. I think everybody's thinks it's this guy. So I just don't, you get the number one pick. How often? Don't screw it up. You've screwed up so many picks. We just kind of went over the Giannis pick.
Like, you know what? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes, we went over the Giannis draft, but remember the Darko draft? Dude, that wouldn't have been the biggest debacle. That would have been the biggest debacle in Pistons history had they not already had a championship team.
That's Portland. They took Sam Bowie over. Of course, they already had Clyde the Glide, so they weren't going to take Jordan, but they took Sam Bowie.
Imagine.
And Odin.
Right. Imagine.
Odin, who was 150 years old. But,
So who'd you have available at 2 instead of Darko? You had a championship team, and you could have added who? Like
Bosh,
Melo, Wade. Like, all these guys that came out in the same draft. Like, you could have called. I mean, imagine that being on. Imagine Dwayne Wade being on the going to work Pistons team, and having that for another 2 years. You'd had 4 championships.
Oh yeah. Because they would probably move Rip to the 3.
Right.
Okay, if him come
He would
off
even
the bench,
even if he came
off the bench. But you have Wade and Chauncey and Prince.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
you could have fun with that roster.
Yeah,
and you can move it
may
around.
Not make the trade for Rashid because you would have Mehmet Okor and Ben Wallace then.
Right.
I mean, people forget when we had that Mehmet was coming off the bench there.
Yeah.
He could play the 4 and the 5. Played really good in those playoffs.
All right. I loved having Sheed, but Mehmet Okor proved to have he was a great player even when he left.
Yeah.
And I would have been fine with it. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that could have happened with that roster that have been super fun if you not shit the bed on the number 2 overall pick. But it got hidden, it got covered up because they still won a championship. So it wasn't
it came with one block, basically covering blown coverage on there to win 2.
Yeah, and so people kind of hide, but I mean, they can't afford to make that mistake this time. No. So to me, I don't know where you go. What's more sure? Do you want Cade, or do you want to pick somebody at 4 or 5 and then have a bunch of draft capital, which means next to nothing in the NBA? If it's not a first round cap,
take the best player available, which looks to be Cade because he can play 4 positions.
Sure.
And with it, and you know what he does? He makes everybody on the court better.
And I like that aspect. And then if he's not like a head case and he's a locker room guy,
he's read about it and seen about it on there. He's basically so not a head case.
So
he wants to come here. He's like, listen, I'm only visiting one team out there. He wants to be here.
So
and the fans obviously want him here.
Right.
So I think this is under. Dude, we've got to get to a game next year in the new courtside bar at LCA.
Oh yeah, because I don't want to sit in the seats.
No, we're gonna sit at the bar there.
Okay.
The new courtside bar.
Yeah, because the Little Caesars Arena, the seating arrangements.
I am not sitting in no upper deck for nothing.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
We need to basically find somebody could get a hook up there and get some tickets at the courtside bar.
All right, I'll look into it. We'll do some DSR2 sponsorship shit.
Yes,
that's what we need to do for next
what
season.
We gotta do.
I got all that's my off-season job for.
Yes,
okay.
And we are not above whoring ourselves out.
Absolutely not. I whore myself out for anything and everything, and I'm a cheap, dirty whore.
That's right.
I am a cheap, dirty whore. So please, just send me anything. You can send me a bag of beef jerky, and I'll
That's
be.
right.
You know, I just.
And I gotta find out what the cost is of 50 mini nuggets at Chick-fil-A.
If you could even get them, he ate them all. No.
They were like mini nuggets. Some guy goes, well, that's not much. They're like 1 bite nuggets. I mean, come on. I can kick a 30-pack of regular nuggets. I'm like, well, good for you. What are you, fucking Joey Chestnut?
Yeah, I was saying, good for you, Joey Chestnut, you fucking slob. So that's awesome. So your organs are shutting down? Is that what you're telling me?
That's right.
You
clown. Have renal failure by the age of 40.
Yeah, I mean, geez. So your asshole leaks? I mean, because of the food you eat? I mean, come on, man. Get out of here. You know what? I can't do it. Okay, so here's a little thing. We go up north, like a lot of us here in the Midwest, United States. We go up north for our weekends or holidays and whatnot. And so I've got a place, and we go roughly every other weekend when it's nice out. So every other weekend is our fast food, right? We go up there, we just grab dinner on the drive on the way up there. My body kicks that shit out like, nah. Like, no. This is not acceptable fuel. So if you're pumping down 50 of those sumbitches and you're over the age of 35 or 40, you got organ failure going on, buddy. Like, if you can crank those down and they don't affect you and you're pumping that stuff down, you are like, what was that? Supersize Me?
Yeah.
That's what's happening to you right as we speak.
Was it Morgan Spurlock?
Yeah. And he
even said, hey, dude, I was physically ill.
He was dying.
Yes.
The doctors are like, dude, you're dying. You're rotting yourself from the inside out with this food.
Yes.
So.
That tells you.
Yeah, just lay.
I try to avoid on there, especially now. I mean, it obviously shows. Finally,
right? No, you're looking good, Moose. You were at but you eat like regular food, Moose. Right. It's not like you're eating like all this horrible garbage. You guys go and you get food and you cook at home and you eat good food. It's when you're pumping garbage in your system.
Even
Like
when we went down there, we basically I didn't because of the heat and everything with it. But yeah, we came back and we, the one dog. I mean, Allison goes, I want to try this Raising Cane's chicken. I'm like, what? It's supposed to be the best chicken,
right.
fast food chicken. I'm like, all right. So we go.
Eh,
It wasn't. It's lame.
It's lame.
It was basically, the chicken it was real chicken, so it was tender and juicy. I'll give you that. But their coating on there, the spices on there,
Yeah, no.
it was bland. Now their dipping sauce was the bomb, but again, I want basically just, and all they do is serve tenders, not even real tenders. So it's just chicken tenders.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm like, no.
Boneless.
Yeah,
No, it's not boneless. It's a chicken tender. There's never been a chicken born boneless.
No, just brute.
Give me that. Yeah, I mean, you got some kind of rubber chicken walking around here. I don't want to eat that. Yeah, so I it's the same thing. If I drive by a fast food place and it's got a long line, I just kind of laugh. I'm like, why does anybody like the drive-through? I'm like, why the fuck are you waiting in line to die like that? Like, that stuff's just horrible. So my body, you get to 40 and older, your body should be kicking that stuff back. Unless, and if it's not your body, then you're doing something to yourself.
What the hell is this? And I paid for it the next morning. And you know what? You rednecks in Kentucky, you don't know how to drive. You need to learn how to drive. There's a thing called cruise control. Use it.
So Canada Mike was saying that it's the U.S. that wanted to keep the border closed, and so it's on our side. They weren't really holding up. Canada's not really the issue. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to go. So apparently August 21st at the earliest.
Yep.
So, yeah, my birthday's like that following week, but I'll be going up to the cabin. But after that, we could probably go and hook up with Canada.
I gotta
Mike.
get an enhanced license because I don't have that.
You don't have that? You don't have a passport or nothing?
No. I haven't got. Well,
What the?
went to the old days where you didn't need all that.
What do you just?
I don't go anywhere.
You just stay in the county. You just don't go anywhere.
I don't go anywhere to you.
Just walk
Hell, I haven't gone out of the damn country, and hell.
Yeah, I haven't gone out the country in like 5 years probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't either. So.
Well, want to get back to again. I have relatives that live over in the great country of Canada.
Yeah, I just any little bit of normalcy. We used to go over to Windsor a lot for whatever. There's entertainment over there, just to have that normalcy. And then of course we'd love to go visit our friend Canada Mike. I'll bring some RC Cola and Marlboros for him,
and we're gonna pick up
we'll be taking care.
Chips to bring home.
Oh yes, there you go.
And butter tarts.
Yeah, so it's but no, I mean, and that's kind of what's weird. We're still the residual of it, right? Moose, we wouldn't even be here right now. This would be our time off because it would just be baseball, lame old middle of the season, nothing going on. We take a little time off to kind of recharge and get ready for the football season, and so yeah, it's kind of like pretty weird to just be still kind of going. So everything. So it'll be nice when it gets back to normal because now next season it's gonna be normal here. Ooh, he bought some chocolate butter tarts today, Moose. And we're still a month away, Moose, before we could even go over there. So
I actually found my grandmother's recipe for butter tarts. I made them one year for Christmas on there, and damn it, they were delicious.
Yeah, that's nice when you can find the old school recipes and hope that they're accurate and not a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that.
On the on there with the relatives on there, it actually is. I had a great grandfather that owned the town of Angus, Ontario, which is just outside of Toronto.
Oh, okay, interesting. He owned a town?
He owned a town. He bought for a cow back in like 1820 or something up there or whatever. Interesting lineage. My grandpa was adopted, so who the fuck knows? My grandmother was adopted.
They kept crappy records.
She came from Via Hull, Quebec.
Oh, see, we don't really know anything. So So yeah.
My
So
father's
my
side-
my last name is not even mine.
My father's side, we can go back to like 1450 or something like that.
Right, gotcha. Yeah. See,
Without even, I mean, that's just from us.
my last name isn't even mine because my like I said, my grandpa took the adopted name, and that's the one that passed down to through my family. So I don't.
So,
No idea.
all sorts
No
of
idea. I
crazy-
could go on and do that 23andMe thing or whatever, and I would probably find out I'm like Hindu or something.
I got some interesting stories about that. So.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, back to sports as we get off track. So, yeah, if you guys missed that game and only saw the highlights and whatever, at least get your ass on YouTube and check out Giannis's post game if you don't get a chance to maybe catch a replay, a condensed version on NBA. It was that good. It was really that good. They battled all the way down, and it was really that good.
It was that good.
So, but anyway, so the Olympics disaster. It's gonna be a disaster.
It's gonna be
It just we talked about it here. It just smells and tastes and walks and talks like a disaster. So it's gonna have to be a disaster.
It will be a disaster. How many guys have already people have already tested positive? The bullshit about the hypocrisy about beach volleyball. Guys can wear shorts and a t-shirt. Girls want to wear shorts. Nope, you gotta wear bikini bottoms.
Well, I kind of like that rule.
I like it too, but it's still
it's bullshit.
It's kind of bullshit hypocrisy on here.
I'm fine with volleyball shorts. They're very hot,
Yes.
so they could just do that.
Oh yes.
The volleyball shorts are like the single greatest invention.
So we got that's gonna be. I mean, just and with the cardboard beds are supposed to be basically anti-sex beds on there, so you can't because these definitely. Well, there's a thing called the floor.
Yeah, there's no such thing
Plus-
as an anti-sex bed.
Guess
I've
what?
seen athletes like just I'll bang you on the sink.
And all sorts.
I'll bang you on the sink. I'll bang you against the wall. It doesn't fucking matter. What are you gonna do? The Earth is round, motherfucker. You're not gonna stop me.
The beds are a lot sturdier than you think, Kyle.
It's
Somebody already broke them.
Doesn't matter. I'll spread them out and make a cardboard floor.
Yes.
The bikini rule in the Olympics must be enforced. There you go. It's spoken like a true
Are
fan.
they gonna run out of condoms again, like they did in Sydney, Australia?
They need to give. They should have. What you do is when you come in, they give you an N95 mask, like a baggie, and it'll be full of condoms, and everybody gets one. That will last till dinner, and then you'll have to get something else.
Because in Sydney, I mean, it was what? Say there's 15,000 athletes. They literally ran. They had over 100,000 condoms, and they ran out.
That's amazing.
Again,
They're like, we don't have any more latex in the country. You guys got to stop banging. We have to pull out the sheepskin.
You work your ass off for 4 years, get the Olympics, you hit the pinnacle on there,
and then you just turn into a bunny.
And basically, it's like, okay, and they're all good. They're all in shape.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yep. And
they're all kind of good looking. Okay, and man, it's like, dude.
Bunny time.
I'm hooking up.
One time at band camp.
One time, man.
I mean, it is. It's one time at band camp.
I don't care if it's a swimmer or track on.
It doesn't matter.
The Olympics, damn right. I'm getting.
I mean, they just all turn into rabbits. It's just
right.
Just grab something and stick it in a hole. It's whatever.
Alcohol involved and sex.
Yeah. Probably all kinds of crazy, goofy drugs over there too. Why not? Although Japan will be a little harder, but.
Well, they said in like Sochi, it was like they're all using Tinder. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, hook up with that one.
We'll swipe this way. We'll swipe that way. We'll swipe. Cardboard beds of 300 pounds. How long do you think that bed will hold me? Till you fart. Why don't you blow one in bed? It'll just collapse.
Yeah, how's that gonna handle like the weightlifters and shit?
That's what I'm saying. You've got big athletes. I mean, 300 pounds is not out of the realm for some of these athletes.
Especially at the like in the wrestling, the super heavyweights and all that, and the shot putters and on there.
Those shot putter guys, they're 300 pounds of beef all day.
Essentially defensive tackles and shit.
Well, in Japan, everybody's like, significantly smaller.
Except for the sumos.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess maybe they just assume that that'll be fine because our athlete, a lot of our athletes will be smaller. A lot of the, women and a lot of the, there's a lot of lean, trim athletes, but there's still a shit ton of big guys.
I mean,
too.
the host country, its own citizens say, no, we don't want it.
I don't know why you.
Again.
It's just such a. I don't get it.
It's such a scam. It's a big freaking Ponzi scheme created by the IOC.
I just don't even see how this could be profitable.
They get their money up front.
From where though?
the cities that bid on the host, they all get their money.
So, but I guess my point is,
It's all the kickbacks and all that other bullshit, the corruption and everything.
Yeah, it's so.
So they announced that
dirty.
the 2032 Olympics will be in Brisbane, Australia.
Well, that's kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know as much.
But it bankrupts most. I mean, again, what they should do is just basically pick 6 cities across the country or across the world and say, you know what, we're just going to rotate. You already got the damn stadiums in place.
Right, sure.
We'll just go. You know, London gets the host, Paris gets the host, Tokyo gets the host, Beijing gets the host, Los Angeles.
Right. Well, I get though being able to move it so that other fans and other people can get involved in it, and that you can eventually have burnout in an area where you're just not turning out like you may be able to somewhere else. And to avoid that, you just slip in a couple other locations here and there. If you can find the right location, I'm okay with them doing that. The problem is every single person in the IOC that makes any kind of decisions,
it's corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the mafia look like a church choir.
Yeah, because again, Greece should never have gotten to host the Olympics because they basically didn't have the infrastructure in place, and it literally bankrupt the country.
Right.
Dude, I mean, they want all new venues built. Well, what's the sustain these venues after you go?
Right. Yeah. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. And then it was a total debacle over there last time anyway, right? I mean, you had fucking all kinds of viruses in the waters and
all sorts of
all
shit.
kinds of stuff going on. They were swimming them triathlons and like all these waters.
That was Rio.
Yeah, Rio.
Rio's a shithole to begin with.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter everywhere they go.
Yeah.
So, like, let's pick another one. I mean,
Rio. I mean, Sydney's a major city, so they were able to host.
Yeah, Sydney's beautiful, actually.
Beijing, when they hosted in 08, didn't care. Right. Whatever. Here,
yeah.
we're going to get, we're just basically, here's an announcement that we're ready for the 21st century. Here's our country, and look what we have done.
Yeah, yeah.
What
exactly.
It cost us $50 billion? Don't care.
Yeah, we're just self-glossing. We'll take it.
Yes. Whereas here in LA, most of the stuff's already in place.
Right.
They already have. They're going to host it at SoFi Stadium. That'll be the opening of things. They've got the Coliseum. They've got everything already in place there for various venues to host it.
Right.
So you don't need to build all new.
Right. Yeah, I think definitely if they have the infrastructure in place already, and then if these cats, I think you're out of the running if you're just running it to do that. I think you need to not only put up a new building, but prove that you're going to be able to sustain that place so that they can have a return visit.
Right.
I want to book maybe this one and then one in 12 years or something.
Well, again, LA did it 1932 and 1984. And they still use the Coliseum for both.
Right.
They're going to use the Coliseum for the next one, too, for something. So
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a debacle. And again, we got the Paralympic swimmer who is blind and deaf, can't bring her personal assistant, who helps her get by on everyday things on her. So, nope, can't do it.
I mean, if you literally have no sense except for smell, you should be able to have whatever you want.
Right.
Whoever you want.
You're the Paralympics. I mean, these people have
that makes
various
no
physical
sense.
issues.
I can't
whether
hear
missing
shit.
legs or so forth on there. And here's one that's blind and deaf. She can't even get dressed on her own without because she can't.
I can't even hear. I can't hear your instructions, nor can I read sign language because I'm fucking blind.
Right.
Like that. Talk about having communication issues. If you can't punch up some braille right here, right now, we're kind of screwed.
Right.
And so she has somebody that helps her,
just
communicate, navigate, and do whatever.
To the lobby to get over to the stadium.
And you can't accommodate that. That's so crazy. I guarantee you, she can't speak really well, if at all.
No.
It's probably more of because you can't hear. You're in her ear,
right?
So you can't hear yourself. And if you were deaf your whole life and you were blind where you couldn't like read lips.
I don't think she was deaf and born both. It was something happened on later.
Okay.
But still,
all right.
But still, the fact is you're blind and deaf.
Yeah.
She actually has to have someone swim next to her to kind of tap her when they're getting close to the wall so she knows exactly when to flip.
Wow.
But no, we can't have that.
So It's so dumb, man.
AOC. I mean, all them sons of bitches.
Yeah, it's dirty, dirty rotten. So, all right, let's get a break in, Moose.
Yeah.
So we can recharge, kind of get ourselves back up. Sorry for the technical difficulties early. Software decided to get goofy, so we did a restart. We're good. So
we'll get back into. We got a little bit of. We'll get in a little bit more college football because the SEC came out with some rules about the upcoming season.
okay.
Also, we got some NFL news going on there as well.
Yeah.
And we'll get into a little bit of baseball there because our Tigers are undefeated in the second half. Yay.
Oh yeah.
And they're beating up Texas again.
Oh yeah. I wish we
Yay.
could play them every week.
We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the ultimate underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the ultimate underground. Live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, 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 what up, though? How y'all living? Hour one started off a little rocky there, I have to admit. A little technical difficulties here, and I apologize. We're going to take our little mini vacation coming up here, so we'll be gone for a little while. But stay tuned to the page. We'll be back. We won't be gone too long. We'll get back into football. We got some football to talk about here on the second hour. We've got all kinds of stuff to get into, man. We ain't afraid. There's baseball combo to be had, all that. And, this conversation could break down and degenerate into anything at any time. So what the hell? Let's get into this thing. The season finale of DSR2. It is hour 2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for the second hour of DSR2. And we talked a lot about the NBA action, and Giannis basically calling everybody out. Basically throwing them under the bus, going forward, backing up, going forward, backing up, trading it in for a damn steamroller, ran him over.
He's just calling out them sack-chasing hoes, man. Get your championship at home.
Right. Stay with the team that drafted you, help you know the winner. That's what they did. They won it on there in 6 games, and they got the championship. So we'll see what happens here and see what their long-term win is. So we'll go on with them. But yeah,
They'll be in that convo next year.
I love the fact that on there you can't help not like Giannis. So I hope he has a long and successful career and wins another one. Till we get good, and then I want us to win them all.
It's one of those things, Moose, where of course you want your team to win, but we talk about it every week on here, I think, and I won't. I will stand fast to it, and I won't ever waver. I love the content. I love the storylines.
Yes.
I don't have anybody. We talked about it. You want home team to win, but when home team's not in there, what else do you have to look forward
I want
to?
a good storyline.
I'm
And
all
dude,
up-
we had
yeah.
2 good storylines out there in this that I didn't have on here, and I wouldn't been happy. Would I have been happy if Phoenix won? Yeah, on there. But dude,
Well, you could have told the story of Chris Paul's
redemption and getting back on there, getting to the top, and now we got with it. Giannis coming back from the injury, which we all thought he was going to be gone for a year plus.
Right, and then he didn't even miss a game, really.
He missed like 2 games,
Yeah.
came back, and also he looks a little tentative in game 1, and game 2 a lot better. Then game 3, you're like, holy crap! And then he just punctured it out with a 50 burger.
Right. Well, what happens is he got confident. He felt
Yeah.
good under there. He was like, you know what? If that couldn't take me out, nothing. This is destiny, and he wanted it. And
He wanted it on there. So.
like, I mean, it's just the way he played. Not that these other guys didn't want it. I don't want to sound like that, but you could just see the intensity on him in those last 2 or 3 games, especially. And then that last game, I mean, 5 blocks, 50 points. How many boards did he have? I mean,
14 boards.
14 boards. Yeah, I thought it was 14 or 15. So, yeah, I mean, that guy couldn't have done anything more. And then vice versa. You know, you look on the other side of the coin, and Booker just, you knew he was going to go flat one day.
Yeah.
I mean, he carried that team when Chris Paul was gone.
Right.
He was putting up the points and doing stuff. They needed to be able to absorb a day that he just didn't shoot well, and it was this day, and they couldn't.
Unfortunately, it was the closeout game.
Yeah, and they
overcome
couldn't
it.
absorb it, and this was a chance. Once again, we talked about it long before it got to this. You know, we talked about it 3 weeks ago. That if Chris Paul wants to change that narrative, he needs to be the one that carries his team through, and regardless of what kind of happens around him. And he was unable to do it. But I love that Giannis called out all the sack chasing hoes that go out there and try to buy championships essentially by getting with all their buddies and do it. He's like, nope, you stay here, you build it, you bring in 8 free agents, and you draft and you build a team and you stay and win. And yeah, he, like I said, his 6th block of the game was swatting at Chris Paul, because if he leaves and goes to the Lakers or something now, that would be, you know what? That's a storyline. If Chris Paul and goes to the Lakers, I want the Lakers to make the finals against the Bucks. That'd be great storylines.
Yeah.
You can be like, yeah, Giannis would be like, yeah, that's a whole team of sack chasing hoes. All of them. AD, LeBron, all of them.
Right. But there's
Paul,
no guarantee
it'd be a whole set of sack chasing hoes on one
Let's
team.
go with a bunch of 30-plus-year-olds on there to make a run for it.
Yeah.
This is a young man's game on there, so yeah, with it. So we got that. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers turning down a 2-year extension with Green Bay?
To make him the highest paid quarterback in the league?
And he said, no.
That doesn't bode well. That doesn't look good either.
No.
I mean, what do you do? How do you even trade that now?
Yeah. You can't. They're going to offer you a bag of donuts. No, they're going to give you the donut hole, baby, the little Timbits.
I mean, how do you trade that? You're going to be like, well, he's not going to sign with you guys. Why am I trading? You offered him an extension to make him the highest paid quarterback in the league, and he said no.
Right.
Why would I trade for him?
Right. I'll just wait till
He's gone, and then
Right.
I'll just pay him, because I'm going to have to pay him anyway.
So,
Yikes.
yes.
That was like the death blow, almost, it feels like.
And again, you know what that tells me, too? Is Devontae Adams may say, after this season, I'm a free agent. Unless you're franchising me, I'm out of here. You know where he's talking about? You know who wants him to come out there? Vegas. David Carr wants him to play because they were teammates in college at Fresno State.
Yeah, but if you want to win, you don't go there.
No, not as long as Gruden's coaching.
I mean, that's just a disaster over there. Oh my God! Yeah, don't go there. Don't go there. No, don't ever do that.
I mean, Minnesota doesn't. I mean, they're not locked in. I don't think they're locked into Cousins long term. I don't think they. I know what they. Of course, they maybe have drafted as a replacement in like the 4th round, but we'll see what about that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see about that.
And again, I really like Justin Fields, but when was the last time the Bears actually developed a quarterback? Otto Graham?
Yeah, I'll say the history of never. I mean, I don't ever remember him doing anything.
Back in the 50s? Otto Graham? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, dude, you're right.
You had a prolific passer in college at Jim McMahon, and they made him a...
Yeah, they neutered him, didn't they?
Neutered him. They made him basically a clock manager.
Man. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, especially in the West and that on there. Again, Stephon Gilmore's not happy in New England, so we'll get into that. As we said, Ben Roethlisberger finally decided to eat a salad.
Instead of himself?
Instead of
himself? I'm sorry. Because my mic's all messed up.
He ate a duplicate of him.
He ate himself. He did the Brandon Fraser thing for a minute there. He just looks like he got stung by a million bees.
Brandon Fraser ate Brandon Fraser.
Yes.
The 49ers make Warner the highest paid linebacker, 5-year deal, $95 million, 45 guaranteed.
Wow.
Yes, Fred Warner is now the highest paid linebacker.
No shnikes. Sorry, I'm playing with my channel on my mic there. It seemed like it was messed up. All right. Hopefully I'm good now. So apologize for that.
And we got into that. So we'll look into everything with it. Cam Akers is gone for the year, blown Achilles.
Jesus.
And they don't have Malcolm Brown. He's gone, so they're stuck with Darrell Henderson or whoever they can find off the scrap heap.
Darrell Henderson. Yikes.
Yes.
Yikes, not good.
They're that team's thin already. They're basically one or two injuries away from for the Lions getting 2 top 10 picks.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you want to try to get. That's what you want. That's what the Lions want. You want them to be bad.
Yes.
But I don't know. We'll see if they're bad or not. That's the key.
The kicker is they're in a really good division.
Yeah, and their schedule's not going to be simple. So,
no.
But I just think if you can keep Stafford upright and he's got
a great offensive line.
Yeah.
He's got some really good receivers.
I just think that you can win with that. The only reason we didn't win is because
our defense was terrible.
Our defense was horrid, and I just think the coaching was that bad. I just
whereas they've got a great defense. They've got the best defensive player in all football.
Right.
5 years running, and Aaron Donald, and they got a great secondary. Jalen Ramsey's a beast in the secondary.
Sure.
That's how it's on there. But again, you're going against Frisco. Now Frisco's got everybody healthy right now. We'll see how they can turn out on there. We'll see what Seattle, what happens up there, and Arizona too. They're in a killer division.
Yeah.
That's not going to be easy.
No,
not like,
right.
I'm in the NFC South.
Right.
Then you got Tampa and everybody else.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, without a doubt.
That probably is the toughest division in all football. You're not that's what we said. Them, possibly the NFC North.
Right.
Because you got Baltimore, Cleveland's is a lot better. Pittsburgh, we'll see what happens. They're on the decline.
Right.
But then you got Cincinnati. It might be. We'll see how JoJo can come back from the knee surgery.
Sure.
And they're only better too because now they've actually got 3 good receivers with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Boyd.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Into that, but it's going to be interesting on that and with it. So. Again, I think the end of the week is training camps open up.
Jeez, it's so fast. It's so fast. Yeah, I mean that's the regular season or the preseason will be here before you know it. NFL just comes up on you so fast.
So what do you think about Brady saying or the word coming out that Brady played the whole year last year with a torn MCL?
If that's true and all that, dude, like what What kind of chance does anybody stand against this guy? Like, who says he can't play till he's 50?
Right. I remember reading years ago Elway saying his ACL was pretty much fried in college, and he played his entire career with a basically no ACL.
That's crazy.
But yeah, Brady doing it. Poop. Well, is it? Dude, you could. I mean, he's.
Well, yeah, he's like
He's
45 years old.
45. He'll keep winning on it, dude. They've got a great offensive line. They've got a great defense. He's got great receiver. Until you beat him, I don't. I'm not betting against them.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to bet against. Yeah, how do you bet against a guy? I mean, the odds are you're going to lose if you bet against him. I mean, that's all I could tell you. But it's just. I don't know. It just adds to the lore, if that's what it is. I mean, people talk about the Jordan flu game. You got shit on this. The Jordan flu game guy got shit on that.
MCL.
All right. I mean, the only thing I could come up close with it is Kurt Angle. Before he was a professional wrestler, he was an Olympic wrestler, and he won his gold medal with a broken neck.
Yes.
So, like, he uses that in his gimmick and all that, and everybody kind of laughs, but it's legit.
It's legit.
And so, like, that's kind of like that. It's like hockey toughness, right? Like, I just died on the bench, but, yeah, get me out there, coach.
Yeah.
I know you.
Gordie Howe, who basically get a fractured his skull, who was supposed to die, was never supposed to play again. They don't know if he would have walked, play again. Yet he played another 25 years.
Yeah, he played literally in every decade hockey was ever around. It's like the silliest thing. He's like played in every decade hockey's existed. It's fucking nuts. Guy played till he's like 140. It just doesn't even make sense.
If he would have still been playing, he probably would have died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he would have just stayed in his gear, he would have still be here, skating around.
Beating up guys and scoring goals.
Yep.
But
no fucking mask on. No helmet. Just skating.
And you're afraid that even at 50 years old, I'm going to get my ass kicked if I say to do anything to him. Hey, Mr. Howell.
I mean, it takes a certain kind of toughness, right? Like, it's a different kind of tough. You don't look at him and he's like some big burly, like muscly guy or anything like that. It's a different kind of tough.
He was a beast.
That's real tough.
6'3", 6'4", 225 pounds.
Oh, sure.
Where guys were like 5'9", 5'10", maybe $180 if that. And there's this monster out skating him and just basically going, well, what the hell are we gonna do? We can't move him. If we do, he's gonna hurt us. So yeah, we'll get into that. We got the NHL expansion draft, so we'll see how bad. I mean, good news is Wings lose Cholowski, but we'll see on there. I know they're probably not going to take Carey Price from Montreal. They just don't want that kind of contract in that, so they're going to be trying to be on it. But we'll see if more than likely the way the NHL's geared, the expansion teams are going to be better than like the Wings might be next year.
Well, and that's
I mean, they haven't changed. I think what Vegas got. I mean.
Right. Well, and that's kind of what we're kind of have to worry about, isn't it? Like, I just think they're not gonna. It's not gonna be a Vegas thing again. They're not gonna do. It's not gonna be like that.
They won't be on there like that.
Right. It's still. It's like, come on, man.
And what about us?
Still,
we'll see on there. We'll see what happens on there with. I mean, we did make a nice trade there. Trading the guy that was basically part of the trade, gave him a second rounder for, again, a defenseman, offensive defenseman that's great running the power play.
Right.
All right, good. Get the power play back in order.
Yep.
And then let's get Sider up here and go from there, and we'll see what happens. But
sure,
we'll see what the draft is on there. They're looking, maybe they'll be taking a goalie. Who knows? But we'll talk about that when we get back after a break and what happens there.
I love the that's the one thing about the break, when you come back for the first show, there's like so much stuff to cover. This year it's going to be a little bit weird, but there's you're going to have a lot of NBA or NFL stuff really kind of start rolling here soon. So we talked about it. The NBA, we talk about all the time that the NFL, is like a 365 kind of sport, but this year it hasn't been quite like that. The NBA and the NHL held it down,
Right.
and really did their thing, and the NFL wasn't able to really dominate the headlines, even though they were out of season, which you do kind of see a little bit. So I am so surprised, or I won't be surprised, I guess, when this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Dude, the league's gonna look messed up next year. Just look at your top 5 quarterbacks last year. You got one with the MCL issue, right? Or ACL, I mean, with Brady, which is your Super Bowl quarterback. You know, obviously he'll be back and he'll be fine.
Mahomes had the toe issue. He's been healthy. He got the surgery on there.
Those guys all should be good, but you're still going to be wondering to see if there's any lingering effects. And then as you go up the spectrum, you've got, the Deshaun Watson scenario.
Yeah, we still don't know what's going to happen there.
Right. And then, with the swap with us in St. Louis, you got that little bit. There's just a lot of the Aaron Rodgers situation. What's Chicago? This league, it's going to be I think it'll be kind of a drastically different, like fantasy football. You'll be able to tell us, Moose.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look different for you this year.
It's going to be a little different on here. Basically, again, I think it's going to be, again, is Justin Herbert going to have a repeat performance of last year, or is it going to be a sophomore slump? Can Burrow's come back on there with it? We don't know. Again, guys changing out there with it on there.
Cleveland has to make the next step, right? You paid all that money for Baker, and you're gonna run out of time on these lower contracts. You start paying cats, so they've got to be able to cash in.
Better because remember they had all those guys out there got hurt in their secondary. They're all going to be healthy now.
Yep.
Cleveland's got to be one to be watched out there with it. I know what's going to be. Kansas City with a whole new revamped offensive line. What are they going to do? How is that going to gel?
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of stuff that we'll be able to get into when we come back. It'll be super fun. And you guys know we'll be NFL heavy once the season gets going. But there's still a ton of content to, or discussions to be had. But there's a lot of them, and those are just the ones we're kind of seeing now. It's going to get ramped up, and there's going to be trades, and there's going to free agency and whatever. So. Yeah, I can't wait. And then we get to see, here in Detroit, you don't have much, but, seeing maybe our rookies, see if they get on the field and play and perform.
We'll see how Sewell looks, and then we'll see again, DeAndre Swift make the next jump up and everything with it. Is Okudah going to be at least a viable cornerback?
All right. Every team, there'll be a lot of stories. So we kind of talk about how the NFL hasn't been dominant. I think they're fine with it because the dominant story turns into the Deshaun Watson thing. It turns into probably something that isn't necessarily positive. But I'm going to tell you something, and we didn't get into it too much because we weren't here. Did you see the Conor McGregor fight?
No, I just saw the highlights afterwards. And
dude, Anderson Silva'd himself.
Yes.
And so it was the wildest thing, and we'll get into there'll be a lot of that kind of content too. But anyway, he throws a leg kick that gets checked, and like Poirier even felt his leg break on his leg. Like he's like, "Oh, dude, your leg's broke," and he pointed to it, and my man stepped down and was on it, and when he went to torque his hip, it came off the bone. The bone came off the bone, and he just crumbled to the ground. Ankle bent over like a banana, and then everybody's like, they're making fun of Conor laying on the ground and rolling because they just hate Conor McGregor, right? And I'm like, okay, so I know of that kind of break happening 2 or 3 other times, and Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva, those 2 dudes. They both rolled on the ground crying. This dude did an interview with Joe Rogan.
I know.
And he was just mad as fuck that he didn't get to finish the fight.
Right.
That, as we talk about toughness, is the toughest thing. But the greatest thing that happened on that card, Greg Hardy got knocked the fuck out.
Good.
He got knocked the fuck. They finally didn't give him a tomato can, and this fat bastard fucked him up. He went butterbean on his ass. It was like when Butterbean went to the WWE and boxed what's his name, Bart Gunn,
Yeah.
and just beat the tar out of him.
Yes.
That's basically what happened. It was great. It was great. There's never a guy more deserving. And then it's funny. The announcers that were calling it, one of the guys says, "Oh man, he was doing so well," and then the fucking other guy goes, "Yeah, he finally got competition." And that's what happens when you fight a Riedel fighter. I was like, damn. I was like, oh, nobody likes Greg Hardy. Not even MMA guys want his ass there. But that was our talk. Dude, violence against women.
Yeah.
Violence against just people. Like, there shouldn't be an MMA gym out there that would train this guy.
Right.
I just don't think that there should be. And so apparently the community doesn't necessarily disagree with me on that, because even the commentary was like, yeah, he actually fought a fighter. That's why he got knocked out. It's not like he's good or anything. I mean, that's not what he said, but that's almost what he said. It was fucking.
It wasn't what he said.
But it was what he said. Yeah. It's just like, ugh. So, yeah, that was what the NFL was known for, right? That when you had stories outside of the game time and on the field, it was always those crazy negative
again, Richard
NFL
Sherman,
stories.
what the fuck happened
And I was about to say, but we didn't get through the summer without any. Thank you, Moose. We're getting there. Yay. I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit here. Yeah, I kind of want to hold judgment a little bit till we know more about what happened. But what in the hell set you off like that?
Yeah.
Like I've been that mad. Don't get me wrong, but like, dude, like everybody talks about how well spoken and intelligent and thoughtful and all these things that you really are. That didn't come through in that video.
No.
That video was pretty damning as far as with no context.
Right.
So that's why I want the context. Like, if I heard, your father-in-law said something that was worthy of fucking going like that, or did something that's worthy of going like that, then I want to hear about it.
Right.
Because I'm cool with it if it's legit. But if it's not, that's pretty gross.
Right.
You know what I mean? If the guy just said, stop being a dickhead and get out of my house because you're being a jerk to my daughter and I don't want to hear it, then you leave and you be a respectful asshole. You leave and you try to treat your wife better. But, if you got into an argument over that kind of thing, well, I don't know what it would be that would make you so mad. What would he say? I just don't get what that would be. So, like, give me a reason. I don't know. Is he like, did he say something racial to you or something? I mean, like, what really sets you off like that? Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of something. I wouldn't think it's racial. I don't know if he's in an interracial situation. I don't know. But, like, what would you say that would, I mean, that's what
I have no idea.
you know what I mean?
what
Like, unless you're talking about my money, unless you're messing with my money, my family, or, dropping some kind of epitaph, some kind of racial, what would make you pop off like that? So part of me says he's not known for being a loose cannon or anything like any of these other guys that we talked about that made
you never
video
heard
and been
anything
on
off the
TMZ
field with him over his whole year. I mean, just
So
that
I
one interview when he basically felt disrespected by Crabtree in the playoff game. Remember?
Right, and I get it. I get it. He can be, but this just feels like that either that got ramped way the fuck up and his ego's gotten out of hand for him, or somebody really said something that was, it better be worthy of going. You act like that.
Yeah.
So it just seemed, it was pretty wild. Like I said, the NFL hasn't had a lot of those, or they've been pretty good about not being hitting the media, so to speak. But the NFL used to be like that. I think that's why it was such a dominating force, because you could just any given week there was something happening off the field that.
No, it's the old game on there, the NFL crib, byline there. What's the assault charge?
Right. Yeah.
All right, who's charged? Which type of player?
Yeah.
And what is the charge?
Yeah.
And you just say, okay, quarterback, DUI.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yep. Well, we had a game like that for years on here with another show that we did that used to be like the lead-in for us here when we were doing the Living in the D show. We did the same thing. It was called Celebrity Crime Time. and you would pick a type of celebrity, you'd pick a type of crime, and then you would, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, a type of celebrity and then a type of crime, and if you got the two together, you got bonus points, and you set all this thing up. If you got the two in the same arrest, and then we'd add up. We get together every week and do the podcast, and there would be like 3 or 4 celebrity arrests on any given week sometimes. And then you would just tally up the points and go over the story. Yeah, and it became a game. And a lot of times, if you just went athlete, you'd win that category because it was almost always a football player getting in trouble.
Always.
It just always felt like that. And so that might have been why it seemed like there was a little bit less of that. So maybe that's why I didn't feel like it was as dominant in the headlines as it usually is, even in its off season.
Boy, this is a quick game. Tigers are already in the 9th inning, 2 outs.
Oh, wow. What's the score?
4-2.
So they're still up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got a chance here to
Holy shit.
get another win. And, I mean, I know the only reason we got Hinch is because he's labeled a cheater and no one wanted to touch him.
Fine.
But I don't care if he's a cheater. He is an
They
exceptional
win
coach.
They're only 5 games under 500.
Well, he's a good coach.
He's a damn good manager.
Yeah,
You know
so
what?
even if he was a cheater, you know,
As we said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
yeah, I want to win,
Yeah.
you know. So like
He's probably again the over under was like 67 wins on there for the year. They may get there. They may blow
they
by.
laid over, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I would have if I had to put money on it. I wouldn't have went over. Not in
No.
his first year with this debacle. So I wouldn't have went over. I would have went under if I had to, fork to my nose type scenario. So
so we get now. Obviously, we were gone. I was gone last week, so we didn't even get the All Star game on there. But Otani basically hit. Boom!
yeah, Otani hitting bombs. I just like the whole sideshow that is Otani because he's such a, talented guy as far as, being able to play both sides of the ball, as we say in football. But he, being able to pitch and hit, and the guys will even say he could play the outfield if you put him out there, and it's like, that's pretty impressive, and that's what I like about
They
that.
said,
So,
on
he wasn't very impressive in the game. I think he was 0 for 2, and he didn't, make it to the finals. But he was hitting some bombs and some longies.
520 foot.
Yeah,
bomb.
yeah, he was hitting some longies.
They said is the Rangers basically on here. So Fanatics basically got the Otani jerseys and all that are available now. Basically, it blew by, and now he has outsold everybody else in baseball in gear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they don't. Okay, and this is going to get me into Stephen A. Smith's dumbass. I don't get why baseball doesn't take advantage of this guy. And Stephen A. Smith went on this whole diatribe about the language barrier and that he doesn't speak English.
Baseball doesn't do that with anybody.
Dude, I got news for you, dude. Does Miguel Cabrera have great English?
No.
No. Like, I'm not hearing any of that stuff. Like, if you oh, I'm so mad I'm not going to be able to watch that. I'm not going to be here for that. Oh my goodness, I've got to find a way to get that recorded. My boy's going to do the death match with Jericho next week. Oh my goodness. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's just something where they can easily get everything going and on with it. But again, it's not like there's not a huge Asian influence and.
You can market anybody. You can market it. The language barrier, it doesn't matter.
Right,
You can have an interpreter. You can do whatever. Like, I just think that's a cop out, man. And they just don't market anybody. And saying that you can't market somebody because they don't speak English well. Guess what, dude? We don't speak English well, and we're effing here.
Right.
Like, I don't want to hear it about some. And are we attached to them because of their accent and the way that the words come out of their mouth, or are we attached to the way they play in the clutch and how they play the game and what they do? Like, let's be real. Well, that's not what gets us involved into a guy because he speaks like. Am I gonna like a baseball player because hi, my name's Richard? Will you? And he cuts a promo in perfect fucking English. Like, I don't fucking give a shit. Like, that's not why I like a guy. And so, and I'm just sick of that narrative. It's so, you know what it is? It's lazy shit.
It is.
If you don't have a real opinion and you can't take the time to put some thought into this thing, then you come up with lazy shit. So Stephen A. Smith did some lazy shit when he started saying that kind of stuff. And anybody that's got that take, you're lazy. You're not thinking. You're not trying to actually have a take or be smart or anything like that. You're just lazy. It's stupid. It's irresponsible and it's dumb to say. Really, it just makes you sound like an idiot. And so, I really don't get that. There's a million and one ways you can get guys over.
Yep, and Tiger's one.
Good. And market these guys and market the sport, and they just don't do it. And then what about Trout? Like you said, like we don't even have to go there. Just market that guy, right? He's white meat baby face.
Yeah.
Like country boy all the way through looking dude. Like, what do you want? Like, that's as Americana baseball as you can get. America. Like, why don't you just make your fucking nah, because they don't do it.
No.
It don't matter.
Baseball doesn't market.
And Ohtani, like you said, the jerseys flew off the shelf because of what they saw. He didn't say anything. He didn't come out and all of a sudden start speaking perfect English.
No. But you see what he does on the field, dude.
And that's what gets you. That's what makes you gravitate to these guys. And that's why I don't understand. Like, no, that's a lazy, stupid take. Stop.
I agree. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, Canada Mike said he could teach us all French. Dude, I can't even teach me English. Okay, he said something really bad about us, I think, in French. The only word I recognize is DSR2. So I'm pretty sure it's like we have smelly buttholes or something.
But yeah, I mean, you look on there. They don't even market Jacob deGrom in New York, for God's sakes.
I know it just doesn't make any sense, man. So like, it isn't about that. It isn't about how well he speaks the language.
Does such a terrible job.
Yeah, they just don't ever market it. So, do you think if you ran a commercial for just the game of baseball, just to kind of promote youth baseball, and you used Ohtani highlights and all that stuff in there and packaged it all up and had him come film some B-roll shit that you can put in there with it, whatever, and you think that you can't market your sport with that?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to say a word.
No.
Hey. You ever seen pro wrestling? There's tons of guys that get over it. They don't say a goddamn thing. They couldn't speak if you fucking wrote it down for them.
Well, they definitely couldn't read.
Some of them can't either. So it's just like one of those things, right? Where like you can get over because of, and people get invested because of what's happening on the field or on the ice or on the court. And you can market that, and you can take advantage of that, and you can market individual players, and you can take advantage of that, and you can grow your sport by having having youth get involved and be, enthusiastic and getting younger kids in there. And we talk about all the time, baseball is old from a fan base.
Then you have freaking New York and Boston, basically Boston pulling the players out with freaking somebody in the fans threw a ball right at one of the players from Boston. Dude, the fans, you're not part of the game. You're there to observe and have fun.
Yep.
Quit injecting yourself into
the actual part of the game. Yeah, no, it's been ugly. The fan reaction since we've been back to sports, it's been ugly at every sport, even effing golf. And I'm just disappointed. I don't know what else to say.
The week before, the guy walking right by him takes his head cover, just takes a club right out of the bag, and they're like,
"What the
hell's this?"
I mean, guys were running the gate. Some dude ran the gate. We're watching AEW here on the screen, and someone ran the gate here, and Jericho popped him in the face for it. It's like, I mean, and then how many NBA, those guys have been eating shit since they came back this season.
Right.
Shit getting thrown on them and dumped on them. I mean, God, guys, I know we were locked down for a really long time, and
we lost all civility.
Yeah, but I mean, what we turn into cavemen? Like, what's next? You can start throwing your doo-doo at people? Like, what are you, a chimpanzee or a fucking
Euro Cup on there? Them in Wembley, storming the damn stadium, climbing up the walls and shit.
I mean, are you a fucking orangutan or a fucking human being? Let's be fucking real, dude.
Outside the National Stadium on Saturday, and people don't know. Everybody heard the gunshots. They didn't know where they coming from, and they all.
So, did they ever figure anything out on that?
I haven't heard anything on there, and of course they're giving crap on there for some of the Padre players on there. Well, they're just bringing their family. Yeah, those people are wearing national hats on there. They're not family with it. They're basically pulling family and people there. Come with us in the dugout.
Right. Jeez.
I mean,
yeah. Yep.
Time we just need to where's the damn meteor to hit us?
I feel like it sometimes, like, holy cow. But, whatever. I ain't tripping. Or am I? So, yeah, so we come back, guys. There'll be plenty of fun, good stuff to get into, and we'll see. If they're going to get name and likeness, and we talked all about that stuff a little bit, what do you think about those college sports games coming back? I still don't think they're gonna make it. I know y'all.
I mean, I'm curious on there. I kind of leery about going into anything right now, but we'll see what happens.
I don't think they'll get.
I don't know. Again, what happens if Alabama has to forfeit a game or 2 games on there? Then what are they gonna say now?
Yeah. But yeah, they're leaving. So there you go. I got an article here. Of course, we didn't talk about it either. The XFL and CFL talks are done, and the XFL put off their season another year.
Yeah.
So, the Blue Jays went and thanked Buffalo for having them, and pretty class act before they dipped out back to Canada, back to Toronto. So that's good stuff. And, when you speak of class acts, I'm going to tell you something. That was another legacy born for me. And you could have talked about 3, I guess, in that NBA game. But your boy, what's his name? The coach for the Suns, Monty, dude, went right over there right after the game and thanked it. Yeah, congratulated him, thank him for making him a better coach and all that shit. I mean, that was one of the classiest things I ever heard out of anybody. I was like, dude, you know what? Right there. Okay, I did that for the game. I did that for the post game with Giannis, and you deserve the same.
Yes,
because that was as classy as you could get, and I love that stuff. I really do. See, now Canada Mike says he could teach us French, but I can't even read it. And I would butcher it. So I don't know what to say. I couldn't say French. Do you know any French? Was there any of that in your family when there was no French?
French Canadian, but I never learned how to speak French. I took Italian.
I took Spanish in high school, and I probably could.
I took 1 year of Spanish in high school and 1 semester of it. I took a semester of Latin in college and a semester of Italian in college.
Wow. I could probably count to 10 and ask where the pencil sharpener is, but that's about it.
Dos cervezas por favor.
A couple beers, yeah, that's good. I mean, it's funny because I, of course, have a lot of, Latino friends, and my goddaughter's Latina, and I love Latin women in general, and that's like my weakness. But I love Mexican food. I can't speak a lick of goddamn Spanish. And our buddy Jimmy, who used to host this show years and years ago, he brought 2 Colombian women home for a whole summer, fresh off the boat. Like, they came over here to get educated, and they stayed here with him. And yeah, we were like, communication was something special when you're in your 20s and you don't know how to speak Spanish. Jimmy could speak a little bit, and I couldn't. And guess what? Turned out to be great friends, and we still get a chance to talk to them. And they, of course, they learned English long before I learned a goddamn lick of Spanish. Ain't that a sad ass thing? I took it in high school, didn't learn a goddamn thing, had 2 Colombian women here trying to teach me all the time while we're drinking tequila shots and hanging out, and they learned English, and guess what? They probably speak English better than I do too.
Probably.
I'm an idiot. I'm an
You're
idiot.
linguistically challenged.
Yes, I
can
am
say a couple
linguistically,
things in
and I'm a
Spanish.
rapper. How am I linguistically
I
challenged?
can
That's
say a couple
messed
things in
up.
Spanish and probably get my ass beat in a certain bars.
Yeah, right.
That's about
That's
it.
about as far as I can go. Like I said, I think I can count to 10 and ask where the pencil sharpener's at. That's about all I remembered.
As my father said, he goes, I can pretty much swear in every freaking language.
Yeah.
He goes, I go, well, Russian? He goes, yup. Gaelic? Yup.
Yeah. That's funny. Gosh. So, usually we take our break. We have a little bit of time to kind of do whatever and whatever. And because it's in the summer and there's not much, we usually take some time off. So, Moose, you would normally take time. Our time off would coincide with all your softball stuff and dad duties. Any big plans while we're going to be off for a little bit? Or just kind of...
I'm so damn busy with work and everything, so it's hard to catch up with that.
Well, that's good though,
trying
right?
to get up north on there. I know my better half on there is heading up north from the 9th to the 15th. Visit her parents, and my daughter Jess has actually got the week off work. She told Mom, and then she'll head up there with Honor. So I said I'll try to head up there, but I can't take a whole week right now because I already took a week off and I'm too damn busy. So.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, but that's what we do around here, man. We get that up north time in and do whatever. I don't think I would do a whole heck of a lot of traveling this summer or anything like that, but I'm leaving Friday and we'll go up to our cottage and we'll go up north and we'll stay up there for a week and we'll get away and then I'll get caught up. My belts are... I was buried. I still kind of am because I got a few orders here and there's a few to each order. But I'm going to take them with me when we take off. And I got a shop up there at the cottage. And I'll take all my materials with me and just kind of work. And I'll still get stuff done. And everything will be cool. And then I think, I'll just keep working. We got some... new promotional stuff coming and new belts. We just did a new thing for IWE, so that'll be kind of all I'll be doing. And I was kind of hoping to maybe do some camping around in different locations or goof around or maybe have some more time off. But with all the COVID and everything going, it didn't kind of work out this year. But we'll take our week and we'll go up and we'll enjoy the summer. We'll do some water sports and stuff. I'll be in my kayak a bunch this year. Yeah. So that'll be my gimmick. So and then before you know it, fall will be here and we'll be doing football and we'll be getting into our pick'ems and all that. We'll be right back at it, guys. So that's what we'll do with our summer. So I appreciate you guys asking and seeing what's going on and whatever. And I appreciate you guys for putting in the time and hanging out with us. And kind of spreading the word. And Canada Mike's turned into like a really great follower here, and he's been our roving reporter and a bunch of other stuff. And
our NHL insider.
Yeah, he's been a really good addition to our fan base. And we got Beer Can Dan back this year, who we hadn't heard from in a while, and that was kind of nice. So I'm just like uber thankful for everybody that's cool to us across the board. And when we come back next season, there'll be some improvements to the website. That'll be something else I'll be doing. And we're going to try to get back, now that we're back to the Rona things kind of done, we're going to try to get our sponsors back and get you guys some tickets and get some stuff going. So that's what I'll be doing in our little downtime, guys, getting set up, because when we do the show, typically that's been the great thing about Moose's idea of taking the kind of time off during the slow season. And it was brilliant, Moose, because in that slow time I could take and I could set up all those things. Right. And, we gave out opening day Tiger tickets here one year. Remember that, Moose? Yeah. And that was because I had that time to do that and look at stuff. So we might be able to, get some things working. And now that things are opening up and getting back to normal. And so, that'll be something else I'll do at our time. And that'll hopefully trickle down to you guys. We'll be able to get you guys some tickets or some free swag or something. We were pretty good. We got some Fanatic U stuff back in the day. We got I've been able to procure, of course, concert tickets and sporting event stuff. I guarantee you I can get you some wrestling tickets. We could, so maybe we'll put that in the mix. And if you guys are local or even regional, I've been able to get some stuff in like Ohio and Chicago and stuff like that too. So maybe we'll be able to get a few things together. Maybe we'll get a national sponsor that'll be able to do some stuff. Maybe we'll get you some free swag we could just send your way. So we're going to work on that. and then take the next step to getting us a little bit of swag in our pocket.
Yes.
So that'll be the play in the off season here for us. So, but it's because you guys have kind of revitalized this year. You know, like I said, we've had some cats that weren't here before a year ago or so, and we got some old cats that have kind of come back in the mix. And then I got a bunch of cats out there that are incognito, Moose. Did you know that this is a thing now, where they watch, but they don't ever come up on my numbers or on my views because they don't really click on. They just put the audio on and they leave it in the background and they never click into the thing, so they never get accounted for. But then when they come in, they know all about the weeks past and all the different things we've said or done. So I know that they're listening. And then they'll message me or send text after hours after the show, which we still encourage, because if it's topical or it's something, we'll use it.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, you know, like this, that, and the other on that same kind of topic. So I just, and they'll say, you know, oh, I listen all the time. And I'm like, oh, well, you're not in the chat. You don't show up on the reads, and you don't, you know, on some of the things. And I'm like, so guys, I appreciate that you guys listen. And I always say, whether you come for the whole 2 hours or for 2 seconds, and I don't care what platform you find us on. I don't care how you do it. We just love having you, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. But guys, please don't be afraid to click on stuff.
Click on us and give us a like on. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like. Subscribe us on YouTube. Man.
Yeah, so you spread that. You know, we don't really push it. We really haven't in the past, but that'll be the new thing going forward, is to really just kind of get that out there and get everybody paying attention. And the analytics of it before, we didn't really care about. As long as you came out and listened and our voice was getting out there, we didn't care. But now, in order to get things to go broader and get more, we have to have that interaction. That's what helps us. So since, you know, we do everything for free and we give stuff away and we don't charge you to be a part of anything, all we want is for you guys to spread the word and click on all those things and share and like and whatever you can, subscribe and hit notifications and just, you know, share stuff we post and go to the likes and just do all that any chance you can get, because that will just help us out and then in turn give us the opportunity to provide more content, do more things, stuff like that. So and you know, early on and over all these years, I just never really thought of it that way, because like I said, it was more about just getting ears and just saying and doing our thing, you know. So but you got the old Abdullah the Butcher shit going on here with the fork, just forking each other in the heads over here. If you guys are watching in the background, a little AE-dub going on. But barbed wire tables and shit. Yeah, that's whatever. That's what we put under the ring at IWE. There's all kinds of stuff under there. We put all, you know. Yep. See, that's standard. That's standard material. We always put that stuff there. Yeah. If it's not there, how are you supposed to have a match without that? You got some light tubes under there? What are you guys, slacking? There's no light tubes down there? No neon light tubes? A bunch of lazy bastards. Your ring crew is terrible. They gotta have light tubes in there too. Jeez. But anyway, IWEgladiators.com, guys. Peace.
Bring the Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B.